Don't say you've seen it coming. You've seen it all. Before!
What's going on, YouTube? One Tactical Medic. Want to do a real quick video, get my mind off of stuff. Appreciate everybody commenting on my brother's loss. Yeah, he's devastated, to say the least. It's been a rough morning. So, life goes on. I know that sounds callous, but I'm the type of person that she's in a better place. She's not suffering. And I deal with tragedy and stuff a lot of times through comedy. It's the way I cope. So now you're seeing me cope. Alright, I've got some things I want to discuss. First of all, I need my coffee. Doomsday Preppers. That show, I give it the finger. They're clowning. That's all Doomsday Nat Geo's doing. They're poking fun. They are not they're not doing that show right. I'd like to see Doomsday Prepper done a completely different way. I like to see these people thrown in to a situation where they have to survive. You know, kind of make it like a Survivor Man, Bear Grylls type thing, with shooting and rioting and looting. I say shooting. No, you don't have to use real bullets. You use munitions, paintballs, whatever. Come on, girl. The girl in Texas stockpiling rubbers. She's going to trade poontang for survival. And I'm with 13 Crystal Laker on this one. Her car was 16 miles away. 16 miles away. She's going to get there, and that son of a bitch is going to be towed. You know? Or it's going to be sitting up on cinder blocks. No tires. Come on. Really? The lady that was preparing for pandemic flu, I detected a sense of OCD in her. She's the type of people, her and her kids are probably the type of people that get sick all the time. Or maybe they don't get sick because they live such a clean life. I mean, did you see her cleaning her house? They're the type of people, the first bug that, super bug that comes out, they're going to die because your body naturally builds antibodies to stuff, okay? Your body is a miraculous thing. It can develop its own antibodies, heal itself, all that kind of stuff. By not exposing yourself to some stuff, you're actually doing detriment to your body. Now, don't get me wrong. Yeah, the plague, and the clap, and the drip, all that kind of shit can kill you. But I don't see that as the number one thing that's going to get us. I don't think the pole shifting is going to do it either. Last pole shift was, 20 million years ago? I think that's what they said. And when the poles shift, do you just go to bed one night and all of a sudden, boom, shit's upside down? Uprooting your whole family to move there, to Tennessee from Florida. If the pole shifts and you're in Florida and you move to Tennessee, because you said Florida may end up like up near the poles, I would think Tennessee would be near the poles as well. So you're still going to freeze your ass off. I don't know. It's just my take, guys. I'm not the smartest guy. I'm not the sharpest knife in the drawer. But, you can direct yourself to stuff like this. I'll just go ahead and read this real quick. You guys know what the DIA is, right? Defense Intelligence Agency. Army Lieutenant General Ronald L. Burgess, Director of the DIA, disclosed new details of China's space weapons program last week, including information regarding China's anti-satellite missile and cyber warfare capabilities. Burgess stated in little notice written testimony prepared for an appearance before the Senate Armed Services Committee that Beijing is developing missiles, electronic jammers, and lasers for use against satellites. Much of the space warfare activity is being carried out under the guise of China's supposedly non-military space program, he said. The space program includes ostensible civil projects, supports China's growing ability to deny or degrade the space assets of potential adversaries, and enhances China's conventional military capabilities, Burgess said. Think about what he just said there. Now, mind you, he is a lieutenant general for the DIA. He's not some dickhead on TV. He's one of our higher-ups. China operates satellites for communications, navigation, earth resources, weather, and intelligence surveillance and reconnaissance, in addition to manned space and space exploration missions, he said. China successfully tested a direct ascent anti-satellite weapon known as an ASAT missile and is developing jammers and directed energy weapons for ASAT missions, he said. A prerequisite for ASAT attacks, China's ability to track, identify satellites is enhanced by technologies from China's manned and lunar programs, as well as technologies and methods developed to detect and track space debris. China, January 27, anti-satellite missile test involved a modified DF-21 missile that destroyed a Chinese weather satellite. The blast created a debris field in space of some 10,000 pieces. One of those little pieces hitting one of our satellites that's moving 18,000 miles an hour in geosync or whatever type of orbit is going to fuck our satellites up. Burgess said China rarely admits that its space program has direct military use and refers to nearly all satellite launches as scientific or civil. Of course they fucking do. They're the Chinese. I've got one of their Wusa radios. We'll get to that in a minute. Additionally, Burgess said Chinese state-run enterprise continue to proliferate space and counter-space-related capabilities, including some with direct military applications. For example, China's Beidou Global Positioning System satellites will be available for regional users this year and globally by 2020, he said. The satellite will provide foreign militaries with precision targeting capabilities through the purchase of Chinese Beidou receivers and services. The system will provide foreign militaries with greater redundancy and independence in a conflict scenario that employs space assets. The Chinese, as well as the Russians, are also developing space capabilities that interfere with or disable U.S. space-based navigation, communication, and intel satellites. Moreover, North Korea has demonstrated its ability to disrupt U.S. navigational capabilities through Soviet-made electronic jammers placed on vehicles near the south-north demarcation line that, when activated, can fuck us up to 62 miles away. All right. Let's put that in context. The Chinese don't like us. The Russians don't like us. The Iranians don't like us. A lot of people don't like us. I don't think it's going to be a fucking pole shift. I don't think it's going to be a flu bird pandemic or hoof and mouth or the drip or the clap or whatever you want to say. I think what's going to happen is if a war does start, it's going to be unlike anything you've ever seen. Just my take on it. And no, I'm not fear-mongering. Just saying it the way it is. That missile launch in Catalina Island, I've got I'm just going to say, you can call me a kook. Okay? I've studied that film. That was a fucking missile launch, people. Got news for you. I also got news for you that it's kind of ironic that one of my very close friends, who flies on a TACAMO plane, which is an acronym for Take Charge, Move Out. He's with Stratcom Wing 1, or was. He's now with Navy Special Operations. He and I talked after that happened, and he just gave me that look, like, ask me no questions and I will tell you no lies. So enough of that. I won't talk any more about it. But look at the contrail of it, people. That was not a fucking plane. That was a missile. It was probably Chinese, because if you look at the smoke and you see the exhaust, how dirty it was, that's a telltale sign of a Chinese-made missile. Look at how it broached the surface and corkscrewed up before the guidance kicked in. Then it went straight up. And that was a fucking missile. And it all happened when our president was over there, kind of catching us with our pants down. See what I'm getting at? Alright, so enough of that conspiracy theory. I'm not saying that it was, I'm not saying that it wasn't, but if it walks like a duck, talks like a duck, quacks like a duck, shits like a duck, it's probably a fucking duck. But the pole's going to shift. Alright, so back to the little Wusaw radio. If you guys get one of these and you need a radio pouch, go to the Army Navy store and buy yourself a flashbang holder, little pouch. What I did was I took an oxyacetylene torch, melted a hole for the antenna to go around, and I melted a hole on the side. So you can see it right there. You can see that. Melted a hole right there for the lapel mic to plug in. This radio is water resistant to IP55 standards, which means light rain. It's not submersible. But with this pouch and everything, you're now able to put it on your vest, your plate carrier, your backpack, your flip-flop, whatever you want to put it on. So, yeah, as far as the Doomsday Prepper stuff, guys, I think it's going to be a war. And let me tell you, I think if we get involved with Syria more than we are, I think that's going to be the jumping off point. I think it's going to be Syria. I think it's going to go one of two ways. It's either going to start in Syria, or it's going to start with Israel launching an attack on Iran, and then shit in Syria is going to blow up. They're going to launch on Israel. We're going to get sucked into it. The Russians are going to get sucked into it. The Chinese are going to get sucked into it. And then that report that I just read you, shit like that's going to happen. You know, directed energy weapon can mean EMP. Okay, there's also scuttlebutt that the Carnival Splendor ship was hit by an EMP. Now that's speculation. That's conspiracy theory. Is it? Who knows? It's kind of funny though. As soon as that ship was hit, or as soon as it was stranded, it was escorted by U.S. military, U.S. Navy ships back to port. Towed back to port by U.S. Navy ships. It was investigated by the U.S. Navy. Fact. And they wiped it all under the rug real quick. And at that same time, North Korea test-fired a missile. Some say that missile was a EMP test. Things that make you go, Alright, guys. So, yeah, I'm not fear-mongering. I just think that Doomsday Prepper show sucks. I do give it the finger. I can't wait till they're going to probably show somebody that's going to actively say something stupid like, oh, let's overthrow the fucking U.S. government. And that's the type of shit that's going to get more of our rights taken away. Stupid. I wouldn't go on that show, even if they paid me $1 million. I wouldn't fucking do it. I have morals. I have a soul. I'm not going to sell out like that. Not to mention, you make yourself look like an idiot. So, alright guys, sorry for my little rant. I just had to get that kind of stuff off my chest real quick. Keep your eye on events of the world. I think things are going to get interesting. I think $5, $6 gallon of gas coming. I think it's going to get interesting. One Tactical Medic signing off.
Don't see